to the cloud. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hello, happy pagan solstice, Saturnalia, Festivus, all the things. I'm here in a room with some other people, mostly family, family and regulars, but I'm going to record for everybody else who wants to join in. As usual, take this as what feels good in your body, and you don't need to do anything extra. Please notice my fabulous festive mermaid pants that came from Cassie Roberts Rossi. So we're going to start breathing. Inhale, filling up, expand and get bigger, reach into space, and then exhale, soften. I think my mom might be just spectating this time. Inhale, stretch, lift, open your chest and lungs, and exhale, relax your arms. Drinking her tea. Inhale, lift, open, stretch it out and up, and exhale, bend your knees, just feeling what it feels like to be in your body. Inhale, reach, open, look up, and then exhale, soften, let yourself land on the ground. So inhale, we're reaching up to the sky, opening hearts and lungs, and then exhaling as our arms come down, feeling the earth under our feet. So really grounding our energy. One more time like that. Inhale, lift and open, exhale, bending your knees as you come down. Last one, inhale up. At the top, we're going to interlace our fingers, push out through the heels of our hands, open the feet wide, and just shift from side to side. Letting your rib cage move, fairly stable in your lower body, but don't think of locking anything down. You want to have mobility, so your organs have some movement. Fascia is moving. Fluids are moving. In a minute, we're going to do the lymph flush, but just getting this whole thing started. And I'm going to actually bend the knee on the side that I'm going to. So I'm taking it a little bit deeper and having a little bit more action through my whole body. Side, side, bending one knee and then the other. And then coming in and just shake it out for a second. Shake, 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 bounce. Let go. And we're going to do a standing cat-cow. This is internal rotation, external rotation. So we're going to internally rotate the arms and then externally rotate. Now, if you have shoulder issues, this may feel better lower. If your shoulders are healthy, you can do it up higher. I'm just going to show you sideways. You're going to stick out your chest and your butt, and then scoop your belly in, around your spine, internally rotate the arms. Externally rotate, open the heart and the lungs, stick it out. Exhale, hollow. Breathing, inhale. Open and exhale. Hollow, inhale. Arch and open. Exhale, hollow and curl. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Head and tail back. Front of the body opening up. And then exhale. As the head and tail comes forward, back of the body opens. Opening the front, opening the back, and then relax that and let it go. I think I have, well, maybe not, maybe it's not this one. Circles with your shoulders. So easy circles with the shoulders. You can bend and straighten your knees. Imagining that inside, in this upper quadrant or this upper half of your body, you're getting some movement through the rib cage, lungs, and heart. Shoulders are circling. And then change direction up and over. Feeling your breath. I'm going to do one more thing here before we do the lymph flush, and it's just with your head, just turning your head from one side to the other. As you're turning your head from side to side, just pan the horizon with your eyeballs. Bonnie Kelly is in Mexico. She has a gorgeous view. So Bonnie, I hope that you are looking at and enjoying that view as you're panning your head from side to side. Maybe Sheila can look out the window and see a little bit of Grouse Mountain. So, and Susan, you're probably looking at the city. So I think you're in the middle room, so you can't even look out is what yep. And I actually can see out towards the Hudson River. Good, shake it out, let it go. So just turning our head from side to side is a way for our primitive brain to know that we're safe. So immediately our parasympathetic can come on board a little bit, which is the rest and digest, soothe, and subtle part of our body. So we're going to do this lymph flush that I learned from a doctor. And it's basically designed to sort of stimulate the lymphatic system and clear space so that we're going to start up here so that this is opening up the space so that the lymph is going to be able to move through there. So it's like a pressure system. So I'm going to take my right hand, cross it over to my left, and I'm going to go right in this triangle between my collarbone and my sternocleidomastoid. So I'm right in there, and I'm just going to take my hands and massage that. So working to just stimulate the lymphatic system with this movement of the lymph. So movement, deep diaphragmatic breathing, all stimulate lymph. But if any of these lymph nodes are kind of blocked up, then it's going to be hard for our body to process that. So we're moving the areas to help unblock anything in there. Very gentle. You don't need to go hard on this. Go so that it feels good. Like even the lightest bit of movement is going to affect the fascia, is going to move the stuff in there. But depending on your level of what you like in touch and all that kind of stuff, you can work as hard as you like. Let's do the other side, same thing. So left hand to right side. And I'm like tilting my head away. Sometimes I move my head a little bit just to get in there a little deeper. You can sit down for this. Relax your neck and jaw, relax your tongue, just softening the holding pattern of your face. Slack jawed, droopy face, droopy and relaxed. And then we're going to go up to just behind the angle of the jaw, little circles up there. And again, sometimes yawning or even making sound. Like if you do like a ha, anything like that is going to help the vagus nerve. So we're tuning into internal sensation a little bit with this, feeling into our systems. So thinking of like movement and working out or working in as being something that's a reset for your nervous system, but also for your lymphatic system. So you're getting these systems online. So there's coherence in your body. Relax your tongue, relax your neck, relax your face. And then we're going to take it down to armpit pec. So you can get in there with your hands. I am wearing I never wear a leotard to teach, but because it was my only red clothing, I was like, let's get on the red leotard for the Festivus. So getting in, you can kind of grab it with both parts, you're like that, or massage, just taking in that lymph node area in the armpit pec. And then switch it to the other side, same thing. And this lymphatic flush is something you can do every day. Bringing the lymph online is a great way to detox the body. So there are many things that detox us. Our skin, sweating, that's all a detox system. Breathing is even detoxification. But so is this lymphatic system, maybe one of the most, or the most important ones to detox the body. And it doesn't have a pump. So it moves through movement, deep diaphragmatic breathing. And then we're going to come into this place. So here's my xiphoid process right at the bottom of my ribs, and here's my belly button. Right in the middle of that, there's a big, huge lymph node, and it's kind of back a bit. So I have to say for me that this is always the one that feels the least happy. So I'm just going to smile in my lymph, smile at that lymph node. That idea from Eat, Pray, Love of smile in the liver that she got from like a spiritual teacher. Smile in your liver, smile in your lymph node. And shake that out, let it go for a second. Just let your arms relax, bounce around, shake, 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 let it go. And then we're going to take it into the inguinal fold. So right above your, right there where your legs join, just above that, getting inside, circling in there. Depending on where your underwear fall, it's kind of just above or under your panty line. Yeah, with my leotard, it's just under my leotard line. So getting in there and then just shake that out. And the last place here is going to be behind our knees. So in the fold right behind your knees, you can do one and then the other, or you can fold over and do them both at the same time. Getting that going. And as you're doing that, feeling where's your breath going? So big, deep breathing, letting your belly move with the breath. The deeper we breathe into our guts, the kind of healthier it is. So we're actually not breathing into our guts, but the deeper we breathe into our diaphragm so that our guts are moving down, the healthier for that whole system. All right, shake it all out for a second, bounce around. Imagine that you're sparkling out the energy in your whole kinesphere. So releasing any stuckness, inviting in the shiny, happy sparkle, whatever that means. Maybe you don't want the shiny, happy sparkle, maybe just some like clean energy. Let that go. And then we're just going to take a quick twist from side to side, looking behind us as we spiral. My feet are parallel, about shoulder distance apart. My arms are just relaxed and swinging. Letting the centrifugal force just release any kind of extra stuff that might be stuck in or around you. Good. Oh, again, another person. How exciting. And I don't even know who it is, but we might when I see him. All right, so let's take it down to the floor. Oh, it's Maria. Excellent. Hello, Maria. We're in the middle, so we just got down to the floor. So sit, and of course, for Maria, take this all at whatever level works for you. Anything that feels good, anything that is, yes, there's my girl in Portugal. So I'm going to start in a cross-legged position. If cross-legged is uncomfortable for you, you could also do this seated on a chair. And we're just going to stretch from side to side. Inhaling, open, exhaling to the side. Inhale, open. Oh yeah. Exhale sideways. Using your breath, side to side. Feeling your heart and lungs opening up. So there's another somatic educator, somatic therapist, massage therapist person that I know. She's in Spain, Viviana Badnes, and she talks about the hands as being like the wings of the heart. Actually, Gil Headley talks about that too. Like we have these heart wings. Our blood flow is moving all the way out. And when we move, we're moving our heart. And when we breathe, we're also moving our heart. So we want to move our hearts so that our hearts have more freedom. Side stretch, take it forward, all the way to the front. Just hang out there, release down. Let your head and neck release. And then roll it up through your spine and open up the heart wings. Feel your fingers. So there's some awareness out to the edges. Take it over to the other side. Breathing into it. And then taking it all the way forward and down. Breathe and melt. Relax your head and neck. Once you get down there this time, let yourself shift from side to side. So you're freeing up the spine. Imagining the spine, instead of being like an architectural column, imagine it like a fluid river. So as you're moving, the spinal cord has some freedom. That is your nervous system moving through your back. You're creating space, spacious spinal cord, spacious spinal space between your vertebrae in that middle central hollow. Let your head release down and then roll it up through your spine, coming all the way up. And let's change legs. So non-dominant leg comes in front. We're going to change the exercise slightly. Again, we're really working with that lung, ribs, heart area, the upper quadrant of each side of our body, or this upper half of our body, also known as, in Laban, we would call this our center of levity. So it's our center of lightness, where our lungs are filled. So if we start to get like kind of contracted and down, we lose that lightness. We just have to open it back up. So that's what we're doing. Side stretch. You're going to take it slightly forward and down, and then you're going to inhale. Deep breath, look toward the ceiling. If this hurts in your neck or head, just make it smaller. You could do this very small. Work in a range of motion that feels good to you. I'm pretty hypermobile, so mine's going to be fairly big. But working inside the feeling of your body as opposed to what it looks like. Inhale, open, and exhale, soften, using your breath. Last one. And then just take a little deeper to that side. opening it up and taking it over to the other side. Same thing. Exhale, soften and round, and inhale, blossom open. Exhale, softening. Inhale, also being kind of like a weeping willow, right? Weeping willows have that mobility, but they're also very strong. And I think they're also like stealing the water under the ground from all the other trees and plants in the area. So they're really rooted and grounded. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure weeping willows are like some serious water intakers. Inhale, open. So letting that weeping willow nature of your arms, of your body, connect in, whatever that means. And then coming into the side again, taking it deeper, opening it up. And we're going to take both legs out in front and we're going to spiral. I'm going to move my mat so I'm not totally on. There we go. This is a spiral to release out your butt and your hips. So rotators are in there, glutes. You're just rolling across one side and then rolling across the other. So in a lot of the work that I do, or the way I like to think about body, is that we're not trying to make it harder or more rigid. We're trying to make it softer and easier to move. Softer and stronger, but not harder and rigid. So we're mobilizing across, massaging out the butt. And we're going to take it deeper, just spiraling down toward the floor. Push the floor away and take it the other side. Spiral, surrender, open up. And if you feel like getting kind of like musical theater about it, you can really radiate your arms out, opening the chest and lungs, creating the big rainbow with your hands. Just depending on how dramatic you want to be, and also how good it feels in your arms and back to open up like that. You could also just stay down to one side for longer and just hang out there if you need to. Yes. Excellent. And then we're going to come back and lay down on our backs. Taking it all the way down onto your back. And you can see my cat sock feet. Just admiring. I think Gaylord is not in here for right now. Feel free to admire my cat sock feet anytime. Take it down to the floor. And for very, very gentle, easy side to side, dropping the knees one way and then the other. Letting this massage again through your back and hips. So I woke up feeling like a little sore and achy in my lower back, which almost never happens. But I did hike up Overlook Mountain yesterday and it was cold, which was great. But then when I came back, I felt really cold and it took me a long time to warm up. I had to take a really hot shower, but I never stretched again that day. So I feel like I just tightened up my lower back because I was really using my hamstrings and butt on that hike. So sometimes we, have to do extra stuff if we do extra stuff. I'm going to spiral and take that leg a little deeper. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Really work within your range of motion and what your body wants right now. Listening in. And if you and this is more for the people in TV land, but if your body doesn't tell you, if you don't feel like you have a connection to knowing what your body wants or what is good for your body, ask it. Just ask, body, does this feel good? Is this good for me right now? And I'm sure you'll get an answer. On some deep level, you'll know. And if not, maybe someday. Okay, reach down your legs, stretch them out, flex your feet, arms up over your head. You're just going to stretch through one side of your body and then the other. So basically, we're just lengthening out one whole train of fascia on one side and everything that's in that train, which is your whole body. And then the other side. Lengthening one side and then lengthening the other side. I'm letting my hips move. I'm letting my rib cage move. I'm not trying to lock down my ribs here. I'm letting them pop if they want to. Yeah. Good. And then we're going to take the arms out to the sides. You're going to look towards your toes as if you're taking off a shirt, circling the arms. Big arm circles. Exhale as you come up and inhale as you open. So with these arm circles, You can think, if it hurts at all in your shoulder, you can make it smaller just by bending. So you could always like do the little sort of chicken wing arm circles without extending all the way. If that hurts in your arm or in your rotator cuff, just make it smaller. Change direction. But we're just, well, I was going to say something else about what we were thinking, and now I've completely forgotten. We could think back to the heart wings, opening up, expanding. Last one. Yeah, that's a little uneven from side to side, but that's okay. Slide your heels in towards your butt. And we're going to take the arms up over the head. And again, if you've got any kind of restrictions up there, I know we've got some collarbone issues and some shoulder issues. So if anything hurts, don't do this with the arms. You can just do the legs. But if it feels good in your arms, you're going to take them up over your head. Deep inhale, and on the exhale, press the pelvis up, hands come down past your hips. Inhaling, open, and exhaling, pressing the pelvis up. Now, if you have more bandwidth and can think about it, you're going to turn your hands on each time so that the palms are either facing each other, they're facing the ceiling, or they're facing the floor. So we're getting this extra bit of rotation right up there in the shoulder girdle. If it's too much to think about, then don't add that. But most of you, I think, have done this exercise enough that you can probably think about just turning your hands for each one so that they're facing a different direction and feeling into what that feels like. Last one. Let's take the pelvis up, and you're going to make circles with your pelvis. They can be low to the ground or high. Feel into your body. What kind of range of motion is good for you right now? Change direction. So this actually is helping my lower back, because now I'm getting the muscles in my back body working, which is just creating more flow. So we want to work with engaging the muscles and working the muscles, but also releasing them. So as I come down, I'm kind of releasing. As I go up, they engage. And then roll it down. One thing I sometimes talk about is, or in Laban we talk about, is like driving the car with the brakes on. We don't want to have all this extra tension in our body. Soften it, release it, so there's no extra work happening that's counter to what you're trying to do. From there, let's shake out the arms and legs, make some sound. You're all muted, so you can make some sound depending on who's in the house. Shake, 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 let it go. Then just feel into your body. So if you shake, if you've given yourself a good shake, a James Bond shaken and not stirred, then you probably feel some energy still in there, or you might feel. So just feel into that. Like, what happens when you shake, 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 and then stop? Maybe you can still feel the energy of the shake. Try it one more time. Shake, 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 shake. Let your spine soften, let the whole thing, and then stop. Like, I can still feel the pulse of the shake and the activity of the shake. And from there, we're going to either take your hands on your knees or happy baby pose. So whatever you got access to, any kind of version, here or here, just massaging it out. You can play in the baby. So listen into your body. And sometimes if you just sort of let your mind go offline, your body will just come online, so that you're in the feeling state of, oh yeah, playful feeling state of letting your body release and open. Thinking about a happy baby. Oh, what do they do? What would your body do if you were a happy baby? What would you want to do? And as I've said this before, but my mom is here now, and she'll probably say, I never said that, but I'm going to say it. One time she said in class, she's like, what's up with that? Is it have a baby pose, or is it half a baby pose, like a HALF or HAVE? Anyway, hands on your knees. We're going to make circles with your legs. So you're lubricating up your hip socket. Let's move a little bit, releasing your lower back. So you're kind of curling and then not curling, curling and uncurling. And imagining that the fluid, the synovial fluid in your joints, which greases them up and makes them happy, is just lubricating up that hip socket. So easy fluid movement and greasy hydrating fluid, little lube job for your hip sockets. Oh, and then from there you can open up side to side. If it feels good, rock from side to side, or do this with bent legs, either way. And we're gonna rock. Yeah, just rock and massage it out. If you're working on a harder floor, your fascia will get more movement. If you're working on a more of a soft surface, the movement will be more from the inside to the outside. You can fold in onto one side and then open up and roll it to the other side. We can do this with bent arms and legs. If that feels good, just massaging, releasing tension into the ground, massaging across your back, and also sort of developing the intelligence of your body to work in a, we would call it a homolateral pattern, one side of the body and then the other side. Where would we call it that? In the Laban Bartenieff work, homolateral movement. We talk about one side working and then the other side working. And these patterns are developmental patterns that babies go through. That one's like partway into the patterns. All right, let's try also opening and closing. So as you roll across your back, you're gonna stretch out, radiate away from center, and then come back in, if that feels good. Stretching out, opening up, and folding it in. Stretch out and open, and fold it in. And one more. Reach out and gather in. And then coming back onto our backs. And we're gonna do contralateral movement. So here's an upper versus lower pattern, upper versus lower. We did, that's also known as homologous. We did the side versus side, homolateral. Now we're gonna do a contralateral, crossing body, one in, one out. Make this as easy as you need to. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Relax for a second. Let your body really drop into the floor. So imagine the gravitational pull of the earth, which is there, and just imagine it holding you. So it's connecting you to the earth, supporting all your tissues, supporting your fascia, supporting your bones, supporting even your blood, supporting the fluids in your body. The gravitational pull of the earth is just supporting us as humans on the earth. And let's just take a free flow moment of maybe conducting the orchestra or dancing in the seaweed, whatever you want to do, just letting your body move in any kind of fluid way that feels good and is interesting. So yeah, I was really called to do all this arm movement, which just, it somehow, it's again, those wings of the heart, they're casting spells for peace on earth. Maybe for peace in my own body is a better way of putting that. Connecting into the sensation of gravity and building health from there. Peace on earth would be lovely. And let's come back to the contralateral pattern one more time. Elbow to knee, crossing over, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and relax. So that's a very structured pattern, right? Da, 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 we're doing something very specific. Come back into a free flow pattern, letting your body just move. So think of like you're softening the edges inside your body, softening, creating more fluidity, maybe more wateriness, maybe more airiness, so some lightness and some fluidity. So we're not locked down and rigid, but we've got freedom inside of our being. And when we have more freedom inside of our movement, we can also have more freedom inside of our idea of who we are. Relax your neck and jaw, relax your tongue. And then let's take it onto our sides. So just rolling over onto your side. Either side. And we'll just go with these regular hydrants from the side, up and down, going 1. So again, very structured. We all know what's happening here. 2, unless you've never done this before. 3, but probably most of you have. 4. We can sometimes rest and find comfort in structure. 6, and sometimes we need freedom. 7, 8, 9. Often a balance between the two things is most healthy. 10, 11, 12. And then I'm going to take my hand on my hip and I'm going to stabilize my pelvis a little bit so that I'm not moving my butt back and forth, but I'm just moving my femur head and my hip socket up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Give it a tap it out. And then we're going to do knee into chest. I'm going to take my knee into my chest and I'm going to push back with my heel. So I'm going to flex back, pointing as I take my knee into the chest, and then flex, kick back as if I'm, is it donkeys, horses, where they really kick back. Like they don't like people going right behind them, I think, if they're feeling feisty. So give yourself, without hurting yourself, big donkey kick into the back space. And I'm really reaching through my leg back there, pushing out through my heel. Yeah, thinking of opening up the front of my torso. I can really feel the connection of my leg into my abdominals and into my organs as I kick back. 4 more. 3. So getting into the back space as much as you can. 2, last 1. 1, and then I'm going to point my toes and just touch down to the floor. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend. If it feels okay, grab on, taking your knee back. If you can't quite grab, maybe you can get your sock and grab on. So that's an option. And if this hurts in your knees, just don't do it. But if it's okay, take it back there. Breathe. Front of the quad lengthening out. Melting the front, lengthening it out. And then bring it in. And let's roll over onto our backs. Cross your ankle over your knee. Draw it in towards you. Breathe, soften. And if you want to straighten the bottom leg or do any kind of other version of the stretch, go for it. Breathe into it. Hips are so personal and they all can do really different things. Like where people are loose and where people are tight in their bodies is very different from person to person. And even from day to day, it can be different in one body. And then you're going to release down so that your foot's on the floor. That foot is still crossed, and you're just going to let the leg slowly drop to one side and then to the other, relaxing your inner body as much as possible. So again, just let the body fall and then bring it back as easy as possible. So this is not work, but just massaging out, letting the wave of movement move, slosh and surge from side to side. Letting it go. Ooh, and add those sighs and those breaths, whenever you want to. Anytime you like sigh or let out that breath, you're going to relax a little bit more. So feel free to let those noises out. We're very, I want to say verklempt, but I know that's not the right word, but it's an onomatopoeia of the right word. We're very kind of constricted in our culture about making noise in the one that I grew up in. So feel free to make some noise, let it out, and then come in and shake it out. And I don't mean my fabulous mother, who's also here in the room telling me to be quiet, because she certainly didn't. I mean, in the larger culture, the culture of school, of work, of being around people. Like if you do anything, make too much noise, you're a weirdo. And I guess we all know that I'm a weirdo, so got to break those rules. What are you gonna say, Saul? Nothing, okay. Come back onto your other side, shifting it over, starting with this whole, hopefully I remember the pattern. up and down. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Tap it out. And then just the knee. 1, 2, hand on your hip or not. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and tap it out. Tap out the mermaid scales and then knee into chest and kick back. Knee in, trying to stretch through the front of the body. So one thing I noticed in ballet was that doing a battement to the back, kicking to the back, there's nothing else I do that gives me the same stretch as doing a battement to the back in ballet class. So this is appropriating that idea somewhat, although we're on the floor, so it's not the same as standing up to do it. Last one. Point your toes, take it down, up, going 1, 2, 3, 4, reaching as far back as you can, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then stretch, grab onto your ankle and take it back. Quad stretch, breathe into it. And release and roll onto your back. Pressing your ankle over your knee, draw it in towards you in whatever way feels right to you. Breathe. Yeah, so the back of my hips tend to be very tight. Like I need to do a lot of hip stretching. And had I come down from that mountain and stretched the back of my hips, I probably would not have had any pain today. Who knows? And actually, having said that, it's pretty much gone now. I feel pretty good. Let it go. Lower your foot to the floor, falling from side to side. One side and then the other, letting it massage out your hips and lower back. And then come back into center and shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake around the arms, shake around the legs. Let the shake of the arms melt into the back of the shoulders. Free up your spine a little bit. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. So shaking out is a great way to get rid of any kind of stuck energy, like, or anything you didn't say or express. Sometimes you can just shake out whatever got stuck in there. Let it go. And let's flip over and come on. Yes. So I used to, when I taught at Equinox, I used to make my class do the shakeout with a yell. And like, I would keep doing it until I heard people actually start to really let loose. I was like, we're just going to keep doing it until it's happening. And usually after a few, like maybe 3 or 4, then everybody would start to laugh, or there'd be some more freedom. It's like, just, we hold ourselves in so much in life. Like we're taught, sit still, don't say anything, behave, like not let it out, say the thing you need to say. Like that's not the messaging that we get most of the time in life. So yeah, the shakeout is a great way to help release some of the stuff that you may have stuck in there. And our body knows what's in there. Like our body's holding all that stuff. So a lot of times, like we can release through movement what maybe couldn't come out in another way. All right. Let's take it down to our bellies on the mat. And bend your knees. Just let your legs fall from side to side. So massage it out the front of your quads, easy and loose. Think if you're having a big bushy tail, like a big bushy fox tail that you're wagging. And if you're a big bushy fox wagging your tail, you probably feel pretty good. So inviting in that big bushy happy fox energy. And then come in, lower your feet down. And let's take the hands next to your chest. So you can do this at whatever level you want. You can just lift a little bit, or if you want to go more, taking the hands off and coming up, exhale down. Thinking of your eyes leading the way to pick you up and then return down. Eyes look out and lift and release it down. Inhaling as you come up, exhaling down. And if you want to, you can connect your hands, take it up higher, working with a range of motion that feels good in your body. So no need to push it. It's not a competition for flexibility. We're just moving and trying to stay tuned into sensation in our bodies. So what feels good inside? A couple more times. One last one. And then coming all the way. If it feels okay, into a child's pose, letting it go. If it's not good to be in deep flexion in your knees, choose a different position. So really work with what feels right to you. So wiggle around, let your spine soften and melt. And then shift your weight back towards your heels and come up. And we're going to do some stuff from all fours. If all fours is not going to work for you, feel free to take this moment to do anything you want. So the other option is to really put a lot of padding under your knees. So if you need extra pillows, go for it. We're going to take the opposite arm to leg out, touch it together, reach it out, and then come down. Out, touch it in, reach it out, and come down. Out, in. Yeah, so right arm, left leg, and then left arm, right leg. Opposite arm to leg. Out, touch, out, and come down. Out, touch, out, and come down. That's it. Out, touch it in. So this is a contralateral pattern. This is like an adult fitness pattern that sort of appropriates baby crawling. Although it's really, probably if we just crawled around, it would be better. But we're getting some different back strength with these extensions. Out and in and out, out, in, out, out, in, out. Last one, out, in, out. And come to sit on your butt. Cross-legged position, either here or here, whichever one feels better. And just move the camera. And we're going to sit and circle. So think about this as really mobilizing your belly, mobilizing your guts, and not contracting. So we're not holding anything in. We're kind of like imagining your pelvis like a big sloppy bowl of water that's sloshing around. So circling around, breathing into it, not constricting it, and change direction other way. Easy circles. And then coming back in, we're going to take it forward one more time to release the back. You can move the spine if that feels good or not, really up to you, working with what feels right to you. And then when you're ready, come up and change legs. So non-dominant leg goes in front. And again, just moving forward and down, side to side. You're fine, Maria. You can keep it how you are. Yeah, whatever feels good in your legs. That's it. Yeah. And then coming in, and let's take the legs out in front. Just bang them up and down. Hamstrings and calves getting very soft and easy. And then rotate in and out. Soften up the muscles in the legs, hamstrings, and calves. And then let's do a final hip stretch. So this could be whatever works for you, either crossing your ankle over your knee and taking it forward there, or if you can fold the bottom one underneath, do that. Or you can go back to laying on your back with one crossed over. So really working with what feels good to you, melting into it. And then come up, unscramble, bang it out, rotate in and out, switch it to the other side. Either crossing one leg straight, both legs bent, whatever works for you, take it down, soften and melt. Big inhales, big exhales. Letting the inside of the body move through the breath. And then come up and bring your legs, both legs out in front of you. Bang them out one more time, rotate in and out. And take your butt, walk it from side to side and forward fold. You can bend your knees there if that feels better. So work with what feels right to you, either bent knees or straight legs, whatever you got, work with that. Softening into it. And the image is like a cat scrabbling, like a cat really happy where they're just doing that thing with their paws, they're purring. Bring that energy into your body. And then coming up and sliding your feet underneath you. If you want to, you can take it forward and backward, knees toward the floor and then heels toward the floor. Or you can just take your butt to the ceiling and stand on your legs. So whichever one feels right for you, or both. Yeah, so this is a great stretch for me. I get a stretch in my lower back and in the soles of my feet. Eventually, come up to an open position, feet wide, knees slightly bent, and just shift from side to side. Let it hang, soften and melt. Tail to head, swish, swash movement. Breathe, let it go. And then come into center and roll it all the way up. Yeah. And coming back to that beginning of inhale, open, stretch out and up. And then exhale. Let's do this a little differently. You're going to take your hands together and just dive through the ceiling, splashing out into the world. And again, hands are going to come together, diving up, splashing through the sky, opening it out. Last one. So it's like you're focusing yourself, centering, diving out into the world. And then we're going to change the direction of that. So hands are going to come together, either diving down or prayer. So I like to dive down, planting my earth, planting my energy in the earth, diving down, or just coming down in a prayer and not going as deep. So work with what feels right and good to you, diving into the earth, or just coming down in prayer, centering again. Last one, up and down the outside. Inhale, reach it out and up, and exhale, let it go. And for all the TV land people, I'm going to stop recording. Everybody in the room, stay. Thank you. If you are here in TV land, like and subscribe. I just broke 300 subscriptions, and now I'm trying to get to 1,000. Like I need that to be able to, anyway, it's ridiculous, but please